Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show. We give you the best advice in business and life. Thank you guys for all the likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. You already know I really do appreciate it. Hey, man, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Alex, I saw the comment that you had left. I made a video a while back. Is the American dream dead? And I saw the comment that you had left, man. And I'm listen, I want you to fully understand. Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not making fun of you at all. Let's tap into it real quick. Alex said that he's confined to a wheelchair. And so basically he said the American dream doesn't look too promising for him. So I'm letting you know something now, Alex. If I'm stuck in a wheelchair, I'm going to run to Best Buy and I'm going to grab the GoPro package. All right. I'm going to get the GoPro package, and I'm serious, man. I'm serious. I'm going to get the GoPro package. I'm going to get the chest rig, the head mount. I'm going to get probably the whole freaking whop. It comes with multiple accessories. So you can get the package itself for about 350 bucks. And then you can start adding a lot. $500 to get you all the way in the door, man, with a complete setup. And I'm going to create a YouTube channel and I'm going to film it. I'm going to title that sumbitch Alex Rolls. All right. I'm going to title it Alex Rolls, Riding with Alex, something like that, to signify the fact that I am confined to a wheelchair. I don't know the full extent of your disabilities, but obviously you are able to type and text and handle business on YouTube. So create your own channel, man, and watch the crowd come. People, listen, you're going to get stupid shit in the comments. Look at me, guy. I get stupid shit in the comments right now. You know, I get stupid shit in the comments right now. I'm going to assume you're a guy, but you could be a girl. Alex is pretty universal. But I get stupid comments from dumbass people all the time. Okay, so it is what it is. You should see my live streams. I get some bad stuff in the live streams. Thank God for the moderators in there in the trenches pulling out their freaking K-bars, going to war in the trenches, man, fighting them off, because I get some crazy stuff in the live streams. But no, seriously, Alex, man, I know that might be a little hard to expose yourself like that, but I'm telling you that people want to know. They would, and you could potentially be a trailblazer for other folks in your shoes, for people in your community. Imagine all the restaurants that are not handicap accessible, the bathrooms. Not saying you got to video yourself in the bathroom, but I'm just saying, imagine all of them that aren't. Show all of it, man, how you're not able to get into places, how it's not accessible, the steps, they don't have a ramp, how you're the parking, how, you know, whatever, the uncomfortable the car ride is, or how hard it is on your family. Show all of it, man. Show it. And watch the crowd come. Watch the support come and stand behind you. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to go to Best Buy. I'm going to get a freaking GoPro package, because the GoPro is intended for movement. And I'm going to learn that camera system. I'm going to start learning YouTube. And by summer, I'm freaking running, man. Alex Rolls. I'm freaking running was probably a bad thing to say, but still, I'm freaking going, man. I'm going, dude. I'm telling you, and I think that that is going to be, I don't know the extent of everything. Feel free to reach out to me. But I'm telling you, if I'm in that situation, man, Alex Rolls is a strong possibility. Alex Rolls. Guys, leave it in the comments below. What do you think? Should Alex Rolls? Should that happen? Leave it in the comments below, guys. Should Alex Rolls happen? All right. Other than that, so we're coming to an end. Good luck, Alex. Good luck, man. So other than that, we're coming to an end of becoming the CEO. This is something that I could probably run with multiple times. But yes, we are coming to an end of becoming the CEO. I could probably maybe create this its own channel. There's a lot to this. You know, this could tap into credit scores, all kinds of things. So if you got things that you want me to talk about in there, business, branding, marketing, credit, business credit, all these different things, guys, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I will pick a few and get back to them. But over this series of becoming the CEO, we've discussed making the decision and cleaning your life up. We've talked about that, making the decision, getting rid of all those crap emails, get rid of all those texts from your ex, especially women. Y'all tend to hold on to the dumbest shit. Well, you said this 6 months ago. I got the message right here. You said this literally, you said this 2 years ago. My son's mother freaking holds on to shit from years ago, man. Years ago. If I say something, if we and her talk, which we rarely ever do, but if we do, she'll literally try to screenshot something from like freaking 2016, 2018, shit like that. Like, you know how stupid that is? Do you know how ate up your life is if you're holding on to stuff like that? That's why I don't want nothing to do with her. I don't want nothing to do with somebody that's not moving forward. And for women, especially, for you to be holding on to negativity from the past is disgusting. Delete the shit and move forward in your life. So we've talked about cleaning the life up. Obviously, that also goes with friends and family. If they're not, we've talked about this a lot, guys. We've talked about figuring out your basic survival rate and creating a budget. Your basic survival rate, the bare bones minimum of what it takes for you and your family to survive on planet Earth. And I do not consider a car in my survival rate unless I am going to live in that car. So if you're down to where you're having to fight for your basic survival rate and you're down that low, get rid of the car. I don't really give a shit what you think. Get rid of the car. If you're down that low, that means that you've probably lost your job. Your credit shot to shit. You're over here trying to hold on tooth and nail, fighting in the trenches, man, for rent, mortgage, lights, water, gas, car payment. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the car. Dump the car. Ease your life up a little bit. So we've covered the basic survival rate. We've covered make the decision, the basic survival rate, and we've all walked or know about walking in no man's land. Some of you guys tend to really like no man's land. I do too. No man's land is it. Cold, dark, wet, and hungry, man. No man's land is it. I just stay there. I do. I come out every now and then when the sun shines on my back to make me feel a little good. I'll come out and enjoy it, and I'll be there relaxing for a week or 2 weeks, maybe a month. Guys, I've been in no man's land for years. I don't even think I've had a full 30 days out. If I have, this kind of might be it right here. What you see me doing right now for this month of December, I've kind of slowed down, because I just transitioned out of my job into this. And so I've but I don't even consider that because I'm still over here grinding. I'm at this desk all day. I'm sitting at this desk roughly, no lie. I'd say without getting up, taking my dog out, doing things like that, I'm at this desk 6 to 8 hours a day. I'm at this desk all freaking day right now, working on things. So we've covered that. Make the decision, clean your life up, your basic survival rate, and no man's land. Excuse me. Thing on. Yep, my mic's on. We're developing a budget. So I want incoming, not outgoing during this period. And when I walk into no man's land for real is a period of roughly 3 to 5 years. A period of roughly 3 to 5 years. I see some of the dumbass comments that people leave. And I just want to say that I talked to a man. Yeah, I was about to say young man, but me and him are the same age. I talked to a man yesterday that has 100% taken the cash heavy method. And his business is completely debt-free. He's owning a small multi-million-dollar company, 2 of them, matter of fact, and they are debt-free. Everything from his trucks, everything is paid for in cash. That's how you fucking do it. I can't be any more clearer than that. It took him 5 years to get there, but everything is paid for in cash. No credit. Guys, whenever I sat there and saw that and I started doing the paperwork on it, it was beautiful. Everything in cash. Normally I wouldn't mention something about a client, but I had to because I've coached roughly 60 people and nobody has had a paid for cash business, thriving like that. None. So I had to shout out to you, my man. And he already knows it. He already freaking knows it. Shout out to you, my man, because you're killing it. You are freaking killing it. So we've ran over all that. So now we've done where are we at? Because I just kind of threw myself off track. We made the decision, basic survival rate. We're stepping into no man's land. No man's land is a period of 3 to 5 years. Excuse me. No man's land is a period of 3 to 5 years. You need to find a job that you can handle for 3 to 5 years. For me, I found that job through electric and gas. Well, I first started out running cable line with AT&T, Comcast, stuff like that, full of overtime. And I use that to stack cash. I use that to stack cash. I worked all the overtime. I'm not exaggerating at all. 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, as much as they would allow, I worked it. Wintertime slowed down because it was outdoor work. Wintertime slowed down. Once that company started to lose their contracts, I transferred to another one for more money. I worked at that company for 5 years. Once that company started just acting weird, I transferred to this last one outside of Nashville that you guys just saw me leave. I was done. I was done. 7 years in that industry, man. I was done. It's hard on the body. It's hard on the mind. It's very disrespectful because they want to hire young kids to push out and do that type of work because it just is, man. And then once you're one of the highest paid older guys, you know, I've heard Amazon does the same thing. Once you're one of the highest paid, that they start trying to push you out the door because they know they can hire kids for $18 an hour, $16.50 an hour, and then they freaking circle back around to you and like, we're paying this dude $35. Let's get rid of him and go grab a kid. So there you go. So basically, though, man, in this period, we're not stacking cash, guys, to be stacking cash. We are stacking cash for a future investment. We're not stacking cash just to stack cash. That's not what we're doing. We're getting ourselves to a $10,000 emergency fund. We're paying down our debts. I gave you guys the multiple options, option A and option B yesterday. Option A being the fact that we saved $10,000, not $1,000. We saved $10,000. That's 3 to 6 months worth of emergency, depending on your household. We saved $10,000. Dave Ramsey says 1,000. Robert Edson says 10. $10,000, and I'm going to circle back around and start paying off the debts and cleaning my life up. You can roughly do all that depending, because I'm talking to the masses. So loosely, you can roughly do all this in 2 years. This can all be accomplished in 2 years. What I encounter the most with a lot of people is they don't want to make the sacrifices. They're looking for it to be easy, and it's not easy. It's really fucking hard. And most people don't make it. That's why you stay in the situation you're in. You never break the cycle. You never get rich. You never become your own CEO. You never really live a debt-free life. People comment in the comment section about interest rates and this and that. At this period, when I'm like that, I don't give a shit about interest rates. I'm looking at the debt, at the principal of its whole. I'm not looking at what the interest rate is. I'm looking at the principal. That's what I'm looking at. There's going to be people to say, oh, don't worry about this. Don't worry about, you're stupid if you don't look at the interest. The guys, I don't give a shit about interest. When I'm broke, I'm broke. I don't care. I don't care. If I borrowed money back in 2020, and if I borrowed $1,000 back in 2020 at 18% interest, then I just don't care about the 18% interest. I am broke. I know I owe these people $1,000 and they're bothering me for it. I don't care about the interest. All right. And if the time goes on so long, they get to where they don't care about the interest either. They just want the principal back. It happens. It does. It freaking happens. Some of you guys know exactly what I'm saying. For those that have already verified that I'm telling the truth, that in the comments, I appreciate you because you have walked that walk and we're talking that talk. And we're telling people like, hey, man, if you do this, this is what is going to happen. Change your phone number, change your email address. Stop interacting with these people. Stop interacting with them. All right. The only way that they can legally find you is if they send a server out and that server comes to your job or somewhere. And honestly, that's pretty unlikely these days. I mean, it's not off the books, or it's not off, it's not that far fetched, but it is unlikely. And it will take them so long to pull that paperwork off with court orders and crap. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to do what I got to do. Get to $10,000 fast as shit. I'm getting to $10,000 fast as hell. Option A, $10,000 fast as hell. Then I'll circle back around and start paying off debt. Option B is for the hustlers only. Option B is for the hustlers only. I'm not going to worry about my credit at all because obviously the whole point of doing the Dave Ramsey debt-free journey, right? The whole point of that is to never borrow credit, never to borrow money again, right? So what the hell do I care about credit now? I told you guys, look at it like integers. I'm already at zero. I'm broke. I'm at zero. According to Dave Ramsey, I'm not knocking the man. I love the man. I got my start mentally right there with Dave Ramsey, but I'm already at zero. I can go back into the negative to pay zero to get positive, or I'm already at zero. I can just say, fuck the negative for a minute. I'm going straight to positive. I'm cashing. I'm not going back negative. I'm not going to spend 2 years in the negative just to get back to zero and for the banks to say, oh, you're worthy of this much money because you don't have any money and you have low credit because you spent 2 years paying off. Yeah, you're worthy. Because for those that don't know, once you clean off your credit, once you pay off your credit, your score drops. Go pay off your car today. Go pay off all your debt today and watch your score go from a 750 to a 580, a 600. I'm serious. When I paid off all my debt the first time, my score dropped. I mean, second time too. But when I paid off all my debt, I went from like, I don't even remember, it was like a 680 or a 700 back then down to like a freaking, literally like a 580, 595. I went below 600 when I paid off all my debt, but I was right at a 700. Your score when you go debt free drops like 100 freaking points. So they're not going to reward you for debt free. It's going to drop your score. And then the bank's going to, it's a mess. And then you're going to go to the bank and say, well, I'm debt free. Why can't I borrow, $100,000 to start a business? We don't know you. We don't trust you. Just because you paid off all your debt doesn't mean you're trustworthy. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's how the bank is going to do you. So why am I going to be at zero right here, guys? Integers. Think of it. What was that? 6th grade, 7th grade math? Integers. Why am I going to go all the way back into the negative for a year and a half, 2 years just to get back to zero when I could have just said, fuck it, change my number, change my email, forget these people for a little while. I'm going positive right now. I'm stacking $10,000 cash at least. But for option B, for the real hustlers, I'm at zero. I already know the negative. I'm at zero. I'm going straight positive. I'm stacking cash. I'm stacking cash. 2 years, 5 years, stacking cash. I'll clean that debt up when I get back around to it because, like I said, obviously the point of getting debt free is to never borrow money again, right? So why don't I just go ahead and get cash heavy now? That's for the real hustlers and real hustlers only. If that is not you, you already know, so do not do it. Do option A. So for the real hustlers out there, once I get cash heavy, let's say I get myself to $50,000. I really like you to get to 100. That's cash heavy to me. Once you get to 100K, that's cash heavy. $100,000 is cash heavy. Once you get to $100,000, if you can accomplish that within roughly 5 years, let's just put it, or faster, let's put it to you like this. I go out and I'm going to start looking at crack houses. Hands down, plain and simple. Can't be more clear than that. Can't be any more clear than that. I'm going to start looking at crack houses. I'm going to start looking at trailers, depending on how much you have. Let's just keep it realistic. Let's say that you've saved up $30,000 to $50,000. I'm going to start looking at single wide trailers. You can find single wide trailers for roughly $6,000 to $10,000 that are livable. They're just shitty. They need some work done to them. They are livable. Let's say I buy one for $10,000 and I go in and drop 20 into it. I wouldn't want to drop 20 into it. You probably won't have to. That's a bad example. Let's say I drop 10 into it. That's more likely, depending. Hopefully the floor isn't rotted. The floor is not sagging. I have had them like that with the floor sagging and this and that. And you got to go through and redo the flooring and everything else. I have had them like that. But let's just say, depending, this thing is pretty sound. It just needs a major facelift. I'm going to paint the outside, clean up the outside. I'm going to put that heat resistant tar on the roof, paint the roof white or gray, whatever color it needs to be. I'm going to freaking go ahead and update that freaking kitchen island. I'm going to go ahead and do all the little things that I need to do. I might even paint that old wood paneling inside. I'm going to take this $6,000 to $10,000 single wide or double wide trailer, depending on what you find, and I'm going to drop $10,000 into it. Let's just stick with 10 to 10. I bought the trailer for 10. I put 10 into it. I'm 20 all in. I'm going to sell the thing for 35. I'm going to pay my taxes on it. I'm going to pay my taxes on the 35. Contractor's already been paid with the 10 grand that I put into it to spruce it up. Moving forward. I paid my taxes on it. I mean, honestly, man, guys, a trailer, you really don't even need a realtor. I've never hired a realtor to flip a trailer. I've always had title in hand and sold it down at the county courthouse, title in hand, sold it off that way. I've never needed to hire a realtor to sell a trailer. Okay. That's the fastest way. The fastest way, man, you can start flipping cars. All right. Start flipping cars. You can start flipping cars with $10,000. Easy. That's generous. $10,000 to start flipping cars and making cash off of that. I buy a car for $5,000. It's going to probably be less than $5,000 into it. But let's just say that you had to put it. I bought a car for $5,000. Let's say I put $5,000 into it. I'm going to price the thing at $15,000. Somebody comes to offer me $12,000 or $13,000. I want that car gone. Take it. There you go. Let me get my $2,000 or $3,000 profit. Probably not going to pay taxes on it. Just being honest. Why the hell would I? The government gets enough from me. Probably not going to pay taxes on it. And I'm going to, when I go down, for anybody before they come in the comments, when you go down to the courthouse and you sign over the title, make sure that the buyer says they bought it for $1,000 from you. That way, when you do pay taxes on it, you're paying like what, $18 or some shit like that. Make sure the buyer says, oh, I paid $1,000 for this car. You're helping them and they're helping you. Okay. Leave it in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. Leave it in the comments below if you know. Because I done that shit a bunch. Hey, man, go in there and tell them we only paid $1,000 for this. Tell them it was $1,500. I sold a trailer before, man. Tell them you just paid $6,000 for it. When you got title in hand and you're operating in cash, I don't give a shit what anybody says in the comments. I've done this, real life. When you got title in hand and you're operating cash heavy, you can make moves. You can make moves. And this is how old dad to my sons, if you guys ever watch this video, like I said originally, this channel was created for my boys. And whenever people started getting my financial advice, they liked it. I originally created this channel for my sons. And when I started giving them my financial advice, how old dad flew under the system because of child support, leaving me homeless, they liked it. And people kept listening. I was already in the works on writing my book and doing the things that I need to do, but people freaking liked it. So to my sons, listen to your daddy. Don't worry about what they're saying in the comments. Listen to your daddy. If you're operating cash heavy with cash in hand, I don't know what the future is going to hold in 20 years. They're trying to pull us away from cash. I don't know. So we'll, if old dad's still around, we'll talk about it. But right now, if you're operating, as long as we have the USD and they're still floating around and you're operating in cash, get cash heavy. And when you have titles in hand, you can move like that. You can tell the buyer, as long as the buyer is not a freaking pencil neck, you can tell the buyer, hey, just tell them you paid $1,000 for it. It's going to help them and you with the taxes. Just tell them you paid $6,000 for it. I've sold trailers and just said, hey, man, tell them you paid $8,000 for it. Tell them you paid $6,000 for it. Help us both out. Buyers always willing to do it. Always, especially when they know I'm cool, they're cool. Always willing to do it when you're operating in cash. Now, once you build up your cash account, let's say you finally got yourself to $50,000. $50,000, it's what I tell people about $30,000, and $50,000 is about the same. So $30,000 is a sweet spot. It is enough to get you started in almost anything, but it's not enough to finish. $30,000 is enough to get you started, but it's not enough to finish. $30,000 is enough to secure a house, but it's not enough to remodel. Or $30,000 is enough to remodel, but not enough to secure, however you want to look at it. It's enough to do a lot of things. $30,000 is a great amount to start a business, but it's not going to get you finished. If you want a complete, fully funded business startup, $30,000 is not enough. $100,000 is that sweet spot that you need to be at. $100,000 is where you want to be, guys. And I know that's pretty damn hard for some of you to kind of wrap your head around, maybe on your income, to think about $100,000. The fastest way to get there is to sell your shit and to live off of nothing. Sell your shit and live off of nothing for a few years. I know that's pretty hard, but guys, that's way better than me telling you to get to 1 million. That's way better than me screaming on here, get to 1 million, make 1 million, first million, buy my course. It's way better than me screaming that. Get to 100, sell your shit and live off of nothing. I would be more than willing to live in a tent. I've done it before. I would be more than willing to live in a tent, to live in my car, as long as I had, like I tell you all the time, see a vision, create a plan, and execute. Fuck everybody around you. It's not theirs. It's not their vision. How many actors slept in the car before they made it big? That's no different than cash heavy. No different. How many actors lived in their car to get to where they were trying to go? How many of them were homeless and lived off of nothing to get to where they were trying to go? Look at Steve Harvey's life. Look at where he is now, but look at his life that he talks about. And you think that there's supposed to be a period of no sacrifice for your ass. You think that you're a fucking unicorn and that you don't have to sit down and sacrifice to give up something to get to where you want to be in life. You think you don't have to give up something, whether that be like Coach Greg Adams says, your meat, your money, energy, attention, and time. You're going to lose something. CGA says meat. Your money, energy, attention, and time. You will lose something. For all of you trying to hold on to everything as it is right now, you will not make it. You will not make it. Because how the hell do you expect to get cash heavy or rich or whatever the goal is for you if you want to continue doing the exact same things that you are doing right now? How the hell do you expect to get cash heavy or to achieve any goals that you have already set for yourself if you want to keep doing the exact same thing that you are today? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. You cannot climb the mountain of success by holding on to the weight of the past. In order for you to get to where you're trying to go, the old you must die. And a new you has to be born. It just has to be that way. And a lot of people that I encounter are trying to skip the period of sacrifice. They're scared to walk into no man's land. Cash heavy is fucking hard. It is hard. Most people will not make it. They like the thought. They're consumers. They're going to sit here and they're going to listen to me, but they will not make it because they will not take action. Raw, unfiltered, uncensored fucking action. They will not take it. And it hurts my feelings because I see so much potential in so many people, but they're never ready for that period of sacrifice. There has to be a sacrificial period. Has to be. It's been that way. It's in the Bible. It's been that way throughout history. All the sacrifices. Has to be a period of sacrifice. Some men had to be placed in prison to become stoic and great leaders. That was a sacrificial period. I don't want that to happen to you, but I'm just saying. Actors and musicians, comedians had to sleep in their car and run around homeless, being paid nothing, doing things for free to get to where they are right now. That was a sacrificial period. Sacrificial period. Napoleon Hill locked himself in a hotel room with a bunch of cigars to write Think and Grow Rich. I don't remember how long, but it was a while. That was a sacrificial period. The harder the sacrifice, the bigger and faster you'll get the reward. The bigger the reward and the faster you'll receive it. A lot of people want to skip the sacrifice. And I think that some of you guys really need to grow up. And if your life is not where you want it to be, the trajectory of your family bloodline, your history, you need to be the one to sacrifice. You need to be the one to trailblaze and step outside the crowd, get burned at the stake, whatever it is, however you want to look at it. You need to be that person. You have to be the one to sacrifice. Some of your great grandfathers sacrificed and bought a farm, worked that farm till his hands bled, sun up, sun down. It never stopped, just so your grandparents could have land and potentially you have the land. That was their period of sacrifice to change the bloodline, and that's over. What are you going to do? How are you going to change it? It's your turn. It's your turn now to make sure your kids and your grandkids are set up for fucking success. It's your turn. But a lot of you want to skip that period. You want it to be handed to you. It is so easy for me to be successful because everybody around me is weak. I mean that when you guys ask me about this YouTube channel, how I did it, it's because everybody around me is weak. They need to sleep in. They need to drink all day. They need to run around just bullshitting their life away. No strategy, no technique. That's how I did it. While you were sleeping, I was working, just like right now. While you're asleep, I'm work. You're asleep, I'm work. Everybody around me is weak. If you do what I do, as hard as I did it, you'll get the exact same outcome I got. And if you go harder, I don't know, that's rough. If you go harder, you'll beat me. You will beat me. I just felt like I needed to tell you guys that. But now, real quick, back to the cash heavy is that So if you can get yourself to say $50,000, $100,000, like I said, is where you really want to be, because that's when you're allowed to start flipping real estate. But if you can get yourself to $50,000, you could potentially go to foreclosures and auctions and roughly pick up crack houses for $25,000 or $30,000. Let's just say you pick up a crack house that's not that bad for $30,000. You're going to have to go in there and labor on your first couple. You're going to have to at least go in there and do the demo, get some friends, family, come over, do some demo, and then you drop $20,000 into it. If you don't have a major construction background, this is where you hire a contractor. These are things I've done, guys. Okay. That's why I don't need a script. You're going to need to go hire yourself a contractor and let him know your budget. I don't even know if I really want to let the asshole know my budget, because some of them will try to use you for it. So you need to make sure, you need to vet your contractors and make sure, because there's some shitty ones out there, guys. I'm going to put it like this. If that contractor is not on social media and does not have a review, that I'm not hiring him. We live in a digital age. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're not on social media and do not have a review, when it comes to me spending my money, then I can't hire you. I just can't. We're in a digital age. I was all about staying off social media, but there's no way for me to get to where I'm going without it. And it's going to be that way for a lot of you as well. So if you do renovations, home remodels, things of that nature, your ass needs to be on social media. You have to be, and keep your name clean and do the job the best you can. Do your work right. So yeah, I'm going to hire this contractor. And he's going to come over and he's going to give me a quote on what it'll take to fix the house. And then that's when I'll let him know, like, okay, well, don't go over this budget because I don't have any more. And that's the end of it. You might sign a contract with him. You might not. I'm not really sure. I've done it both ways. I've seen it happen both ways, and I've done it both ways. So now I'm in this house, roughly 30 grand on a crack house. I got 20 into it, 50. I'm going to try and sell this thing for 100 with the realtor. I would like to sell it without the realtor to avoid the fees, but I'm going to sell it with the realtor. They're going to take their buyer sellers. I'm going to end up taking, 6%? I'm going to end up taking about and guys, I saw this thing about the seller's agent and the buyer's agent not wanting to pay one of them. Pay your damn realtors, because what's going to happen is they're going to let your house sit online because you're the one not trying to pay them. So they're not going to put the work in for you. If anything, tip them. All right, get the damn thing gone. I'm not looking to flip a crack house 50,000 all in. I'm just trying to sell it for 100. I'm trying to double my money. I want to pay my fees, pay my taxes. Contractor's already been paid, and I want the damn thing gone. So if I'm 50,000 all in and somebody comes up and offers me 75 or 80 for it, sold. I'm not going to take the first lowest damn offer, but I'm going to take, guys, I'm not looking to get 100 grand right back. I want it. If I'm going to price it at 100, I want it, but I'm letting the damn thing go for 75 or 80. I used to sell a lot of weed back in the day, a lot, by the damn trash bags. And the way I undercut everybody was just that, undercutting. I see what they were selling, and then I would sell it a lot cheaper. I would undercut everybody, but I was willing to go the mile. I was willing to drive for it. I used to run that shit from St. Louis to Nashville, man. I was on. That's another story. You guys want to hear that story? Feel free. Leave it in the comments below. That's another story. I did that for a while. But the way I beat everybody, same way in real estate. I'm not looking for top dollar. I'm looking to get this thing gone. I do not want a holding fee. I do not want to be stuck paying monthly on this damn property. Insurance, freaking, after so long, I got hit with the taxes on it. I don't want to get stuck with the damn, the mortgage. I don't want to be stuck with all that. Well, there's no mortgage where you're doing cash heavy, but most likely most of you guys will have to operate in cash and loans. But I just don't want to be stuck with all these holding fees. So I'm letting this thing go as fast as possible. I've personally 30 days, and I know a guy, man, he set on one for, it was less than 18 months. It was more than it. He set on, we'll say 15 months. Because his ass wanted top dollar. He bought at the wrong time in the market. He bought when the market was high as hell. He bought when lumber and everything else was high as hell. And he put a shit ton of money into this house like a dumbass. I told him not to do it. But you know what? People don't want to listen, especially when they think they know you. They don't want to listen to you because they think you're equal. You better lose your ego. Listen, lose your ego to raise your bank account. Just because you think you know somebody does not mean you know somebody. Lose your damn ego to raise your bank account. I told this dumbass don't buy it. I said, man, the market's too high, lumber's too high, everything's too high. And so therefore your contractor's going to be high as hell. So I'm just like, just don't buy it right now. This dumbass went out there and bought this house. He paid $165,000 for a house, dropped like 30 or 40 into it, and then turned around and freaking was trying to sell it for, I don't even remember, man, 250 or something, 225 or something. Like, he wasn't even making any money. By the time it all turned around, I think he right at broke even, maybe even lost just a little bit. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass, you know. But ultimately, guys, that's the gist of Cash Heavy. That's the gist of becoming your own CEO. Loosely, I'm talking to the masses. If you need me to tailor these things to you, to your individual life, your family, you yourself, your business, things of that nature, man, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to schedule a one-on-one. Right now, one-on-ones are $50 an hour. Guys, the price is going up. It's going up. It's got to be that way. It's going up. For those that have been around long enough, I told you I was going to build and brand this business right here in front of you. Go look at my social media. Go look at my Instagram. Go look at my Facebook. You will see where I have built and branded 2 businesses at the same time while creating this YouTube channel right here in front of you. It was hard. It was hard. I can't be any more clear than that. Other than that, man, you guys have a great freaking day. Feel free, as always, take what you need and leave the rest. Feel free to leave me any comments below. Let me know. You guys take care. Have a good day.